This is Grow Omaha Uncut, where you can watch our radio show, including what goes on in the commercial breaks. And be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons.
Good morning and welcome to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. Well, this is Trenton Magid. You're used to hearing my voice, and our fearless leader, Jeff Beals, has taken the weekend off to spend with his family. However, I am pleased to have one of our friends and very active Grow Omaha media contributors, Brad Williams, join me today. You know Brad as the creator of Brad Williams Construction Update, Brad Williams Photography, and a partner at E&A Consulting Group, an engineering firm that's been around for a long time. Brad, you're a busy boy. How you doing?
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me back.
You are a newly minted 47-year-old.
Yes.
Yesterday
was my birthday.
So Brad Williams, who's an amazing shooter, he shoots wildlife without a gun because it's with a camera. And on your birthday, was this at your house or where was it that you saw this amazing bald eagle that was just posing for you?
No, it was over at Lake Manawa.
Okay, so people can go to which website or which Facebook page did you post it on?
It's on my Brad Williams Photography Facebook page. Or Instagram or Twitter.
Check it out. If you could get him to do your family photos, they'd be beautiful. He's more of a wildlife. He's more of a sunset, skylines. You do it all, and you run a helicopter every once in a while. But these bald eagle pictures, I mean, he was wishing you a happy birthday. There's no question about it.
Well, I was kind of stalking it, and I saw some people with fishing rods walking towards the tree where the bald eagle was, so I knew it was going to happen. And I waited, and as soon as he jumped, I started taking pictures.
It is clear like you're up there in the air with him. Well, happy Passover to our Jewish friends, and it's a high time with Easter coming around the corner, and it's good to be in Omaha. We got a mayoral election coming up. We have a city council race, and I think things will be pretty civil on this one.
Yeah, it seems like the heated election was the primary, and now we'll have the general election next month, and it seems like it's going to be between two candidates that have a lot of experience here in Omaha.
Absolutely. Omaha's on a great track. And, well, ladies and gentlemen, you hear us talking about cheer athletics, and if you have kids or grandkids who you want to develop tumbling and stunting skills, you should check out Cheer Athletics Omaha. Go to caomaha.com to register your athlete and join the All-Star Cheer Revolution. Located at 146th and Gold Coast Road in Papillion, Cheer Athletics Omaha competes at the highest level of All-Star Cheer. Not only do the kids learn about tumbling and becoming more steady on the feet, they also learn confidence, hard work, teamwork, and the whole family will be better for it. And plus, it kind of gets the family together and works with your athletes. So the Grow Omaha Weekly Market Report has another restaurant review. The latest restaurant review by Chris Corey, who I'm staring in the face right now because he's behind the camera. The restaurant review, as always, is sponsored by All Makes Office Equipment at about 25th and Farnham. But Chris almost got that far. He went to 1611 Farnham and checked out Block 16. Have you been to Block 16?
Oh, yeah. I get that on there quite often.
So in the newsletter, you can read the review. I would say it's a very positive review. I've only been there once, and so I can't tell you much about it, but I can tell you that on social media, people love to dog on it. Most people say fabulous things about this guy. This Block 16 has like worldwide recognition. They've got a lot of national awards. They're very creative. It's a couple that owns it. And do you have a favorite thing to eat there?
No, every day they have a different special, and I always steer towards the special because it's usually what drives me in down there.
They start with a Euro machine, but they've stepped up to one of the world's best hamburgers, and people fly in for it. So I need to get to Block 16 and check out Chris Corey's review on the Weekly Market Report that came out on Thursday. And if you don't get it, it's pretty easy. It's free. Be one of 23,000 people that get it by just subscribing. And all we do is we send you one email on Thursday afternoons, and it doesn't cost anything, just like all of our offerings. Thank you to our fabulous sponsors such as All Makes. Well, it's time for the Development News of the Week, sponsored by Eagle Mortgage Company. Eagle Mortgage Company is a mortgage broker, which differs than a bank or a credit union, where what happens at 114th and Davenport. Go visit Holly Schneiderwin and her team. Go get a pre-approval letter. You're seeing signs go up for houses for sale, and they shop the market for you. They first of all, they figure out what you want. They follow your direction and figure out when you want to buy a house. They tell you the information that they need for you to get a pre-approval letter so you can go to the market and compete. Remember that when you bought your house?
Oh, yeah. We did not use them at first, and we were stuck to one bank, and it actually bit us. The seller did not want to use our bank, so we had to shop around after that. It was interesting.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Testimonial, EagleMortgageCompany.com. And they do all kinds of loans, refinances, and they will treat you well. First off, on the Economic Development News of the Week, on August 4th last year, 2024, contributing Grow Omaha writer Isaiah Eng published a story on our website titled, Planned Med Center Building Could Be 400 Feet Tall. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And it described an estimated $2.19 billion with a B, as in beautiful, project to replace an aging and antiquated medical facilities and add additional needed space to meet the modern medical facility standards. Well, Jeff Beals, in addition to not being here, he still did his homework. And yesterday, the day before, he saw some huge drilling equipment that's been on that site. Back in the story, it talked about the application that indicated a total gross footage would be about almost 1.3 million square feet and would house 556 hospital beds. So I believe that this is the first phase, and they're still, I'm sure, designing parts of it, but it could be up to, I think it was up to like 30 stories, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, there's no official announcement of what this construction equipment is going to be working on, but the renderings of that tower and that whole corner of Saddle Creek and Farnham are just amazing. All the building that's going to happen there in the next decade or so.
Now, over the last 5 years, it was announced that Omaha would be the first of 5 different cities to work with Department of Homeland Security, and it was going to be about a $5 billion project, $3 to $5 billion project. Omaha was the first one. I mean, Omaha's a place where they brought Ebola patients in from around the world and cured them of Ebola. So if we can do that, and we have the lead transplant center, that Midtown location, which we call the urban core, is definitely going in the right direction. So we will keep you updated on the progress at UNMC and Nebraska Medicine. Well, we have a new restaurant announcement, a new ground up. I've been sitting on this for a year and a half. A good friend of mine who manages the building next door direct messaged me and asked me if this was going to happen, and I couldn't respond to her because I was representing the tenant. And so here is the news, Lisa. Wichita-based 3B Lodge has broken ground on a Twin Peaks at 313 North 179th Street in Village Point West. This is just immediately east of Home 2 Suites, Tavern 180. The 8,000 square foot building will feature a large outdoor patio and is planned on opening in November 25. So they've got a very aggressive build schedule. They've already broken ground. Although you may recall that there was a Twin Peaks out on 173rd and West Center Road, that wasn't a real Twin Peaks. That was a converted Famous Dave's, which had good food. But this place is going to be the original Twin Peaks. And before you scoff at it, go to their website, check out their menu. The new location will be ground-up, state-of-the-art Twin Peaks featuring made-from-scratch menu items and daily drink specials. 3B Lodge already has 8 existing locations in Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So I was happy to work with them. I found them the best location, and it'll be excited to watch what's happening. Do you remember that old restaurant?
I remember it being there, but I never went there.
But I think I've been to it in a couple different cities, and their menu is awesome. So welcome to the market. Hopefully we'll see them probably mid-November, and more activity going on at Village Point West, which will drive traffic. Well, the Mutual Omaha Tower, they're up to about 32 stories, and they've got this big yellow box that helps build the core. Explain how that works on a building.
It's basically a portable form. So they, form up the concrete. They put the rebar in there. They pour the concrete, and then when the concrete cures, the form basically raises itself up to the next floor. Where they repeat the process. They put the rebar in, pour the concrete, raise it up. So it's been going up. It's moved up 31, 32 times now. But this last week and 2 weeks, they've modified it for the top half of the tower.
And they had to change it a little bit, and we're even seeing glass. They're doing something what they call glazing. I don't know if it's just up there so they see how it looks and see how it reflects and things like that.
They've kept going with it. So there's pretty good distance along the east side has glass on at least a few floors, and then there's a couple sections that the glass goes almost all the way to the top of the 15-story parking garage already. And
you've taken some great perspective shots, and it's already transformed our skyline.
It's cool when you can move around different parts of town and see the tower. I mean, it adds a lot of different camera angles and stuff.
Absolutely. And lastly, for development news, the Nova Apartments, I believe it's White Lotus Development. There are a lot of projects around town. 12th and Nicholas, a 5-story building, about 74 units with about 20,000 feet of retail. You're seeing the wood go up on that one.
Yeah, they have the first floor framed in that. This is just yet another building in that whole north downtown area that, all the buildings of the Dizzy Mule that are just about wrapping up, and then you got the frame going up on the east side of that area. It's about 2 years from now, it's going to be a really cool, vibrant area.
I remember when we sold at an auction, we sold Mastercraft furniture, and it sold to a neighbor. That whole area known as Millwork Commons now has just really, really taken off, and so that is exciting. Well, that is your development news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage Company. Go to eaglemortgagecompany.com, and they will take care of you on your next home purchase or refinance. When we come back, we are going to bring on one of our favorite auction company owners, and that's Tom Millie of the Auction Mill. And you know him because if you go to our website and you see what restaurants are opening and closing, he sponsors the ones that are closing because he probably does 75% of the auction sales on that. So stay tuned to KFAB. This is Trenton Magid and Brad Williams. Jeff Beals will be here next week, and we'll be right back.
When you guys are talking, I won't be. I'll lean back so you guys can see each other.
Yeah, but you can talk with us.
Oh, yeah, I will, but I just don't want you to feel like I'm blocking you.
You might be able to pull the microphone to you.
He's a Tom blocker. Yeah. Don't be a Tom blocker.
Yeah. Is that okay?
It's amazing how fast this goes. Yeah. He's a bit of a busy boy.
Yeah, I saw the list.
Oh, yeah, I could have listed 100 more. I forgot, like, Peony Park. There was a bunch of them I forgot on there.
You did Peony Park?
We did the memorabilia out of Peony Park, which is probably the cool part of it.
Have you sold a lot of stuff to Frank Harishi?
Oh, yeah.
Is he's still around, isn't he?
I heard he's not getting around real well.
He lived with his mom until she was like 80-something.
We're thinking of, actually, we were just approached for he's going to need a cell pretty soon, I think. And, yeah.
Love that guy. I used to take him to basketball games and stuff, but here's a guy, like,
he's smart.
He would take down buildings. He took down the front of I think it was you probably know better than I do, but the Federal Reserve Building, and the bronze doors and a set of track lighting, which is now, you know where that is? It's at the top of the First National Tower. Bruce Lortzen paid a pretty penny for this. And, I think Frank turned it down. He's like, I'm just keeping them. I mean,
he lives like a pauper.
Yeah.
But he's a super nice guy. And he just knows Omaha. He's got a couple buildings and things like
Yeah,
that.
he's pretty sharp too.
I gotta give him a call. Yeah,
He
he's
knows his
good,
stuff.
good man.
Yeah, I think I don't know if his health's the greatest.
You own like the candy store and the other
No,
stuff? That was a different guy.
That's Larry Richling.
Yeah.
Larry Richling, I'm sure, has bought a ton from you. And
Oh yeah, we've done a million auctions for him too. He's
yeah,
a
yeah.
good
I know.
character.
I sold the Hollywood Diner trailers. You know
He always turns
restaurants.
looking things.
Things eventually always end up okay for him, but
Oh, he's done great. I mean,
Yeah.
at the end, he's done very well
Yeah.
selling the candy store and everything else. And he's a nice guy.
yeah.
Um,
You got to carve out some time if you're going to talk to him, though.
yeah,
You're going to be there a while.
Yeah, and his wife's great too.
She is.
Do you ever have stuff at auctions that doesn't sell, or does everything at least go for a little bit?
It always brings a little bit. Yeah, we try not to have anything on reserve if we can help.
Get a better auction that way.
Yeah, exactly. But if you come to my warehouse, it's full of shit. So.
No.
Yeah.
You still hit up with something.
You're on Saddle Creek.
Yeah, right next to the Homie Inn.
You own that? Mm-hmm. My mom did the logo for the Homie Inn. She was a graphic artist. That was probably 30 years ago.
Yeah, that whole development project, they're going to start pretty soon, I know.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming, I think.
Yeah.
Which like 2-3 years ago was announced, right? Got an apartment building and stuff there by Wolfson's. And
Yeah, what's going on with Wilson's land?
that's
Are they going to, I don't know if they're ever going to build them.
this is right next to it, right?
What's that, my shop?
No, that apartment complex.
Yeah.
30 seconds training.
It's that Joshua here. They all are. All you real estate guys are.
30 seconds, now the mic's all on. All right. Am I still?
15.
Yeah.
10. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bumper.
When the weather turns bad, turn to News Radio 1110 KFAB and the Pyramid Roofing Severe Weather Center and be ready when storms develop.
And welcome back to the Grow Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid, and filling in for Jeff Beals is the very capable Brad Williams, photographer to the stars and a lot of different companies, shareholder in E&A Consulting Group, which keeps him very busy. And he also does the Grow Omaha Brad Williams construction update. So, Brad, I'm excited to bring on a gentleman by the name of Tom Millie, and Omaha will recognize his company. And if it's not just from sponsoring the restaurant closing sections of our newsletter, it's the auctions that he has done. Now, to give you a quick background, Tom Millie's been an auctioneer since August of 1998. He worked for a lot of different companies as a contract auctioneer. He also is an appraiser, and he launched the Auction Mill, nice play on words, in April of 2011 after closing his real estate appraisal firm. He's done about 250 business liquidation auctions in the Omaha area and in Nebraska. He concentrates usually on a 300-mile radius, but he's done it Minnesota, Iowa, Kansas, Missouri, and California. Probably lost a bet for the one in California. But Tom Millie, thank you for your sponsorship, and thank you for coming on the air.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is a very joyful gentleman, ladies and gentlemen. He probably sees a lot of wild stuff, and so you've done everything from the Civic Auditorium to the Bohemian Cafe, parts of Peony Park, the River City Star. Why don't you give us a 30,000 foot view of the auction mill and where you're at?
Sure. When we first started, we were basically a consignment auction house. We would have a live auction every Thursday. We did that for about 10 years. It was a great place to come and enjoy. We would always have food, and we'd have a couple hundred people, and never knew what would come in each week. And we would just sell whatever came through the doors. But in 2014, we got a couple big breaks. We did the Woolner's grocery store in Exarban, and we did a pretty decent job at that. We also did the Venice Inn for the Caniglias, or the Canelias, depending on who you are. And then we also got the Civic Auditorium auction that year. So since then, we really took off in the business liquidation field.
So as I have to sometimes limit myself if I go to auctions or not. Sometimes I have to put myself in the do not visit auction So I ended up with the pari-mutuel safe at the Exarban auction. I don't know if that was you or not, but
No, I know who did it though.
okay. But what was interesting is somebody was. I was watching this auction. It went up like $3,000 or $4,000. I'm like, I'm out. And the guy says, I wasn't bidding on that safe. I was bidding on this thing over here. And $125 later, on a Friday evening, I end up with a 4,000 pound, 79-inch safe that only one guy in town would move it. Wingdingers. I don't know if he's still around or not, but no bank company would touch it or anything else. So I had to remove a door in my office. It cost me $500. Then I had to move it again when we moved offices, $700. And then I also bought the Exarban Coliseum sign, and I found out it was 16 feet long. I bought that for a few $100, and I was like, I have no place to put this. And so I gifted it to John Hoyt, who loved it, and he put a couple $1,000s in it. So people go to auctions all the time.
I actually sold that sign.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, John brought it in, I think, in 2017 or 2018 to one of our big antique auctions, and then we ended up selling it. I could probably look up and see where it is today if you want it back.
But that's kind of fun where you see all these items. What are some of the stranger items that you get?
Well, people often ask me, like, what's the craziest thing you ever sold? And there's I used to have a couple stock answers, but one time I got in trouble for saying it.
Do it.
But people brought in these.
Jeff's not on the show
yeah.
today.
So they brought in these Native American scalps.
Okay.
And so I had promoted it, and we had it on the auction. And then we got a nice call from a special agent from the authorities, and they said, yeah, maybe that's not such a good idea.
Now, were they Native American scalps or the white man scalps?
Probably white man scalps.
I was going to say, yeah, that wasn't.
But I don't know. You never know.
It's for another show, but.
Yeah. And then we sold a pile of manure once, so I thought that was kind of interesting, but that really turned people off usually.
Was that fertilizer? Or?
Yeah. So now I just say it's the riverboat from the River City Star. That's my go-to safe answer.
What do you want people to know about the auction mill, and whether it's a restaurant, which that's probably 75% of your business, but you do all types of. You do small items. Do you auction buildings off?
We did. I had my real estate license for a long time. It's one of my biggest regrets is not doing my continuing ed and losing it. So I'm in the works of getting that back. I do refer that out. If we get calls on real estate, I'll do that. But primarily we do the personal property. 75% of our business, I would say, are business liquidations. It doesn't have to be restaurants. It can be contractors. And we do laundromats all over the country now. Apparently I'm the only laundromat auctioneer in the country. So we get calls all over the country to do laundromats.
What's the website for the auction mill?
That's it. It's theauctionmill.com.
That works out pretty well.
Yeah.
Now I've been a spotter for some auctions before, and what happens, especially charity auctions, Scott Moore does a lot of those, and it gets really expensive for me. I thought I was bringing it up it was a visit to the premiere of Nebraska with Alexander Payne, and they kept moving the deadline and everything else. And then it was in Los Angeles, and I was in this crowd of a lot of people that were bidding, and I think I bid. It was either $3,000 or $5,000. Just thinking and I was serious about buying it. I wasn't being, nefarious or anything. And nobody bid against me. And my wife got a new custom-made dress. And it turns out they're like, okay, in 3 days you got to be in Los Angeles. And I gave it to friends of mine. And Quentin Tarantino was the MC. And I would have flown out for that. So auctions are fun, ladies and gentlemen. They're very dangerous. And so what is the state of restaurants right now when it comes to auctions? We're seeing a ton of restaurant openings, but we also show all the closings on the website.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I think it's peaked lately. We've had more. Seems to be the restaurant auctions are getting busier and busier. I don't know why the last 2 years. Every time we do it, I always sit down with the owners and I ask them, what's the situation. A lot of times their lease is coming up and they just can't stomach an increase in the lease. Like for Sortino's, we're going to be doing the Sortino's auction coming up. And for them, they're just tired and worn out, and the younger generation doesn't want to take over the restaurant. But what's nice is usually when one closes, two open. So a lot of our equipment will go towards, like a lot of new restaurants in town have equipment from our auctions. So a lot of our buyers
quality stuff.
Great stuff, yeah. And we always educate them and tell them, this equipment's good. This one's got some issues. We try to do a pretty.
So Sortino's, I believe the building's already sold, and it's not going to be a restaurant, I'm told.
That's what I'm hearing.
I was just say I used to work in the bars and restaurants for a long time, and getting a good piece of equipment was so much more affordable at the auction. one of the bars I worked at, the owner, he was always checking out the auctions and buying different equipment. And, there's different civic groups in town too that have their own, like the Sons of Italy and places like that are always looking for more equipment too. And auctions are a great place to find some of that.
Yeah, and restaurant owners are just fun to talk to, period. And now that I know most of them in town, if I walk in, people get scared. They're like, oh, crap, they're going to go, are we going out of business or something? I was like, no, I just came here to eat.
Well, Tom Millie, we appreciate you coming on the show. We appreciate your sponsorship of the restaurant closing sections on the website, growomaha.com. And is there one more auction you want to tell us about?
We've got the Sortino's auction coming up on June 1st, and Meatball in Blackstone is actually tomorrow. It closes. There's a lot of really good equipment on that auction as well.
Did you do it online as well?
Yeah, 99% of our auctions are online now. Since the pandemic, we really turned into an online auction company.
Oh, excellent. Okay, theauctionmill.com, ladies and gentlemen. Tom, thanks for coming on.
Yep, appreciate it.
You're listening to Brad Williams and Trenton Magid on the Grow Omaha Show right here on Cafe B. We'll be back in a few minutes after the half show break.
Thanks so much.
Yeah. It's just crazy. Like, you go to Mama's Pizza out on 156 or whatever that is. And they, obviously went to the auction and bought the Creighton basketball court.
Yeah, we sold that.
Put it up on the wall.
Is that where it's at? I always heard a rumor that it's like in some barn out in Waterloo or something.
Oh,
It was so big. The basketball court from the Civic Auditorium for Creighton's.
Oh, okay.
But it's on a wall there.
I haven't done Dingman's yet, have I?
Nope.
Yeah,
It's kind of chopped up in some pieces, but like the main pieces are out, and then the rest of it's used like as a whatever you call that, wainscoting or whatever.
Yeah. Oh, that's
And
pretty
he has a
cool.
plaque up there that says it's from the Creighton.
Yeah, it only brought like $8,000 or something, or maybe it's $12,000.
So it's big.
But like Trenton said, you get stuck with things because you'll bid on them thinking they're going to bring a lot more money.
Yeah.
I bought the hoops from the Civic Auditorium. Now I'm stuck, so I don't know how I offloaded those, but it was pretty fun. Did you guys want me to get out of here or hang
Yeah,
out?
you're
till
fine.
the end? All right.
That I also think like things like that, you go to the Civic Auditorium and bid on something like he did with the Exarban.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gonna be cool. Then you get it home, you're like,
Yeah, it's like, why did I buy this?
this takes up both cars in my 2-car garage.
Yeah, we do a lot of guns too and coins, and we're starting to get into some art now too. Because I always thought that.
Remind me to tell you the story about that auction we had to call the police.
Oh, which one was it?
Or the
Yeah. Yeah.
you didn't do Rosenblatt?
No,
No.
that was like right before we opened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, my firm. Yep.
That
I know. Ticket Omaha. Whoever has that sign.
Ticket Express, Chad.
Yeah, Ticket Express.
Last summer, he had one of the signs set up in the parking lot of his building off 90th and Center. And it was there for most of the summer, but it's gone now. But it was huge. I went and parked my Volkswagen in front of it and took a picture with the Omaha's Rosenblatt Stadium, and it dwarfed my car. I mean, the car looked tiny in front of it.
Yeah. What's going on with the Warhorse? Is it?
They're just in a few weeks they're opening the second half or whatever. You're talking about 60th and
Yeah, they're not gonna have live racing this year, are they?
they have to once a year. I'm talking about the casinos. They're like doubling the size. It's
Is
crazy.
it about done?
I don't know if it's about done, but
yes,
it's open. The one has to open.
They posted on their Facebook page, I don't remember if it was Horseman's or Warhorse, but they said that they were moving the last machines in and it was about ready to open.
I need to go check that out.
It's
Are you a gambler?
Maybe
All right, so let's go gambling.
anytime.
All right.
we used to have fun going out to the live races once a year.
Yeah, I'm starting. I went to Santa Anita about 2 months ago, or no, last month, and I had so much fun. So now I'm kind of into horse racing.
Yeah.
So.
It has to be a little smaller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more blackjack.
I like craps, but I like to play blackjack too.
I don't want to learn crap shit. I don't need
Crap's
another vice.
We had to go out to Vegas for a work thing. Had to.
Yeah.
And
Short straw.
Yeah.
we found this hole in the wall off the strip, old time casino, and they still had $2 craps and free drinks when you're playing.
Yeah.
You know how much craps you can play for $2 a roll?
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
we were there. And you could make all the side bets then for $1. So we had money. We were playing all night, and we'd walk out of there.
$47 up.
Well, exactly. I mean,
And $2,000 in alcohol.
yes, exactly. We'd have a blast all night long, and we'd leave there with more money we walked in with.
Yeah.
I mean, it was
MGM Grand has a mechanical horse racing game, and it's a quarter to
Yeah.
play. And same thing, they'll bring you drinks, and it's just a quarter at a time.
We saw several of those down on Fremont Street.
So I gotta
we're doing
do Dingman's, I gotta Noddle.
Yeah. Don't forget their name this time.
Did I forget Noddle?
They forgot Dingman's one
Oh,
time.
yeah. Oh, and Andy was listening.
Yes.
Andy thought it was the funniest thing ever. I've done a lot of real estate with Dingman's, and they do such a great job.
Yeah. Aren't they just opened a new place recently?
They're working on. They're going to build big in Gretna. I found them a location in Gretna, right off 370. In that industry, they have buildings that people don't know about that basically like to calibrate it. You know, cars have so many cameras and everything, so they have a building that basically painted white with marks on the walls and everything else, so they can calibrate. You know, they used to farm that stuff out.
Yeah.
You know, they do all of like Tesla's body work.
They're the big boy now, and B Street, which now is a new name, I think, or not B Street.
There's some national.
Dave's was.
Yeah, there's some national that I don't think it's doing as well, but there's still more coming into town.
Yeah, Dingman's is great.
Where do you live?
Bemis Park. Well, Mercer Park, technically.
So that's Midtown, or is it?
No, 39th and Cumming, about one block north. You know where the Mercer Mansion is? Mm-hmm. I'm 1 block south and 1 block east.
Cool. Do you have any kids in the business, or?
No, I don't have any kids.
That you know about?
Yeah, exactly. And they're not in the business.
I don't have any kids.
Yeah.
That you know about.
My dad delivered Brad.
Yeah,
He touched him first. I'm touching him last.
Wow.
I better not be last.
Yeah.
Most recent. There's Kyle signed Eddie and everyone gets a generic birthday card from the company. The receptionist writes, "Have a great birthday from Wolfsey." But then your supervisor writes a personal message, and he wrote, "Congratulations, you made it another year." And I was like,
Really?
"You think I'm not gonna make it?"
Did you see he covered up our logo, or he covered up our name on your putting thing?
Oh, when he was standing up. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
It's like it just said Omaha instead of Girl Omaha. It's like Mohawks. Omaha.
They want him and McGregor usually win it or come close to winning it. I think they're
Really?
runners up this year. And Jeff goes, "When are you gonna be on your Omaha again?" This
Jeff's great.
I said, "Oh, this weekend."
Time.
53 seconds.
Got lots of time to spare.
Oh, yeah.
Do you sell any-
break that makes
3 minutes is like 3
Yeah,
hours to
nice.
a DJ.
Do you sell any medieval swords? He's a what do you call it, Henny or?
HEMA, Historical European Martial Arts.
Okay. Yeah,
Huge market for
we
that.
get pretty much everything. Like one time, we do about 6 big antique auctions a year, so you never know what pops in. So
I'll come check out
we
your
got some
stuff.
cool stuff coming in right now too. So.
There's a estate sale going on about
30
Yeah.
seconds, last
Facebook
spot.
page is the best.
Really?
I blast it out first there, and then we put it on our website.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We got a estate sale going on about 4 houses up from us right now.
15.
All around.
Oh, they're like
People, I guess in the morning it started at 10. At like 9:30, there was already a line down there.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bumper.
Well, it would appear that America is finally betting on itself again. It's the Rosie Diginosi on the podcast page under Jim Rose, KFB.com.
And welcome back to the Omaha Show, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics. I am Trenton Magid, and Brad Williams was kind enough to fill in for Jeff Beals. And speaking of Dingman's Collision Center, I have worked with them for 20-something years, and it's where I take my cars when I have the unfortunate fender bender. Not all my fault, but some of them have been my fault, and they have always done an amazing job. They have 4 locations. They're going to have a 5th coming up soon. They also have mechanical at 120th and Maple Street. And it is run by 2 brothers. Boyd Dingman worked for his father in Iowa, and they brought it to Omaha many years ago. And Travis and Andy Dingman, they run a tight ship. Usually, it's always best of Omaha for that matter. And they've been here since 1996. And I highly recommend, whether it's hail, whether it's a crash, scratches, minor, major, they maintain your manufacturer's warranties with certified repairs. And so give Dingman's Collision Center a call or just stop on by for your free estimates. It is time for our Noddle Development Spotlight, sponsored by none other than Noddle Development.
Imagine that.
You know them?
Yeah.
So you know Noddle Development from Exarban Village, Kiewit headquarters, the Builders District, Valmont headquarters, River's Edge, and Council Bluffs. They're doing residential row houses now in Midtown. They did First National Business Park back in the day, just to name a few. But Jay Noddle, Sam Noddle, their whole team, Ted Zetzman, these people have been around for a long time, and they're one of the largest, if not the largest, developer in Omaha, and they go beyond Omaha. But a lot of people are asking, what's going on at the old Jones Brothers Cupcake space? Did you hear about it?
I heard.
You read the newsletter.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you what's going to be the fifth The Breakfast Club. And the 4,500 square foot space on the end cap where Jones Brothers Cupcakes was pretty much from the beginning of Exarban Village on 67th Street. What makes the Breakfast Club unique, go to the breakfastclubusa.com because it's a breakfast and lunch place, which we see a lot of those. But we don't see a lot of those with full bars.
No, that's maybe some mimosas or Bloody Marys, but not the full bar.
Well, not only do you get some wild drink specials, very exotic drinks with funny names. The menu, if you go to the website, thebreakfastclubusa.com, check out the pictures. They have a crepe flight. Everything's a flight, whether it's a coffee flight, whether it's a meatball flight, whatever it is, there's flights. And you're a beer flight because you have a podcast called Beers with Brad.
Yeah.
Add it to your list of accomplishments and expertise. They have s'mores pancakes, Dutch apple cheesecake French toast, and they even have some items on the lighter side. And so I'm excited for that addition. If you live in Exarban Village and you can, you might have the hair of the dog from the night before or whatever, you can just keep it going for breakfast or lunch. And
there's already 4 breakfast locations in that area, and they are all packed all weekend long. I mean, you'll drive by First Watch there on the corner, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, there'll still be people waiting outside.
You got to love Omaha foodies, and for whatever reason, people don't make eggs at home. They go out and buy them. So that's great for the economy. Also at Exarban Village, don't forget Sonny's, the Airstream trailer, which has a bunch of drinks and light plates. And the great music. They'll either have DJs or live music. It's starting up again, and you can check it out online for the schedule. But people are playing cornhole. They're hanging out in comfortable chairs, laying on the grass, whatever they're doing. So that is your development spotlight brought to you by Noddle Companies. Go to noddlecompanies.com, and I will see you there at Exarban Village. So this segment, I thought that we would talk about the proliferation of sports complexes. For some reason, when you and I were younger, for me it was Husker Raider. Now I was not even a one-star athlete probably, and I didn't get recruited when I was in 6th grade or anything like that. It was pretty much whose mom brings the oranges and whose dad brings the high C. But now apparently you train for 3 seasons a year with your student athlete. And did you see the press release on the construction $45 million complex, Levi Carter Park in North Omaha, right on the north shore of Carter Lake?
Yeah, it's going to be a great addition. Really great for that North Omaha community. It looks beautiful, and just that's going to have one of the best views of any of the sports complexes in the area. You'll be looking right down Carter Lake at downtown Omaha, right on the water. It's going to be a great complex.
So this is almost a 115,000 square foot building, which will include the largest basketball facility in Omaha with 10 indoor courts that can be converted into 14 volleyball courts. So you have the for-profit around Omaha versus the not-for-profit facilities, and apparently we need all these because there's a lot more coming that we'll mention. They're also going to have a computer lab, classroom, space, medical exam, and telehealth rooms, community meeting spaces, a fitness facility, and a wrestling room. And the complex is completely grant funded. In 2023, the city applied for and received a $35 million capital projects grant funded by the U.S. Department of Treasury, which as well as a $10 million from the state of Nebraska's North and South Omaha Recovery Program. Both funds were created to support communities following the pandemic with investments in qualified census tracts. So this is great for North Omaha. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, and it will open in late 2026. And 100 different community organizations have been invited to participate in planning for the programs offered at the complex at Levi Carter Park. So it'll stay open, and let's watch that. Okay, so that's one project. There's also a big press conference on Project Game On. It's a redevelopment initiative near 35th and Ames, also North Omaha. It'll include new football stadium for Omaha North High School and Magnet School, and complete rebuild of the Butler Gast YMCA building. After years of community discussion and anticipation, both YMCA and the stadium will be ready for public in the summer of 2027. The current YMCA building will be torn down to accommodate the construction. The new one will be attached to the future football stadium. So congratulations to North High, another fine sports facility.
Yeah, that's I think it's very important for high schools to have their own football stadium. You know, it just builds a sense of community. They can do all their branding. And then, like, I live right by Westside's football stadium, and that is used basically from sunup or even sometimes before sunup until 11 o'clock at night some nights between actual games, kids from the different sports just out there practicing, and there's the neighbors using it. It's just it's very important, I think, for every neighborhood to have a good field like that people can use.
JFK Jr. would be proud of Omaha for all the active students and adults and all of our trail systems and everything that's going up. A couple years ago, we heard about the Tranquility Park project at 122nd and Maple. This thing, they're currently in the discovery and preliminary design phase, which is intended to progress in the future design and construction phase in 2025 through 2028. Construction of the soccer fields is expected to start this year, with baseball and softball upgrades underway in 2026, and the expected completion date will be 2028. But this is going to be an expansion, and then Mulhall's development arm is working on a thing called Tranquility Commons, and they've already announced that Chicken and Pickle, kind of like a Smash Park, is scheduled to go there, and this will be nice as well.
They have a Starbucks there too. If it's not already open, it looks like it's ready to open soon. So, yeah, Tranquility is the original sports complex around here. It's old enough that I actually played soccer there.
And we can't forget about the Elkhorn Athletic Association in Valley is doing a facility. First Interstate Bank is sponsoring that. That's going to be a bunch of fields and all kinds of stuff, and they're working on that. And then let's not forget about a piece of property that I sold down in La Vista, which is the CHI Health Multi-Sports Complex, which has 12 turf fields, and that's getting going. There's talk about doing up to a 200,000 square foot field house. And then to top it off, and all this activity, let's see what happens in Gretna. They're talking about all kinds of sports facilities. Well, you are listening to Brad Williams and Trenton Magid right here on KFAB, 1110 a.m., and we're going to be right back in 2 minutes with the Perkins Kreitzer lightning round, and there's all kinds of things to talk about. So stay with us, and we'll wrap it up.
Sorry. The La Vista one's pretty crazy. Barrett had soccer practice there last Thursday, and they were playing soccer on the field. And the next Thursday, they had a portable fence, and they were playing baseball on the same field.
Really?
Yeah.
So Trenton, when I give you the 1 minute countdown, that's 1 minute to
Where's
music.
your go-to beer?
How long is the music?
35
Like
seconds.
just to go have a beer?
Yeah.
Central Pine.
Yep.
Countryside Village.
Can't beat it. I'm a Crew Park guy.
Oh yeah, that's good.
What's sad is
Don't
the
worry,
owners of
brother.
Crew
I got
Park,
you.
they don't give Alex any. You know Alex Lund's there, the bartender, the manager of Crew.
I know. I think I would recognize that.
Go over there
But
sometimes. That's a great place to
Yeah, it
for
is.
beer. That's where I learned all about beer. Anyway,
Chris, sorry when I sit in this seat, I don't have the comic levity sometimes that is expected of me.
oh, really?
Yeah.
We used to have.
Yeah, you got
my
the weight
brother
of
walked
Jeff on
into
your shoulders
the
right
town
now.
once, and he went out there with me, and
You can't be
he was
expecting to
impressed by
do
the
comedy
whiskey.
too.
Yeah, they had a bottle of Old Fitzgerald.
The weight of Jeff.
Yeah.
I just imagine Jeff sitting on his shoulder in a white robe with the
Aaron,
hair.
Aaron that
He's probably listening.
B5.
You've got good Jeff on one
B5
shoulder and
brewing,
bad Jeff on the
couple
other.
doors
Yes.
down.
Which one do you listen
Aaron
to?
No,
used
it's
to
not
work-
bad Jeff, it's
well, he
bad
was
Trent.
originally- He just, but he
Bad Trent.
worked with Kevin Pride for quite a while.
And then
Scott's
Jeff's
a
on
good
his
friend of mine.
Not so sure
When they
there is a
opened,
bad
they
Jeff.
bought a ton of equipment from us for their
Yeah.
brewery that we still have. And he's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, you guys have auctioned a few breweries off. I
Yeah, we did
noticed.
the Farnham Street. Yeah. Do you know what's going in Spirit World?
He wears gray like Gandalf.
Those Spirit Worlds.
Is it a grand club?
Yeah, there you go.
No, they're gonna do that prehistoric
Jeff Green.
indoor putter bowling or
really?
something.
9,
Oh yeah.
8, 7,
I didn't say
Get off there.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here comes the bumper.
Welcome back to the home stretch of the Grow Omaha Show. I'm Trenton Maggot. Brad Williams is filling in for Jeff, who will be here next week. And it is time for the lightning round, brought to you by Perkins Kreitzer Construction. They are a full-service Class A general contractor based in Omaha. You've seen their handiwork on the totally revitalized Miracle Hill Shopping Center on the west side of 114th and Dodge. And they're big in all kinds of construction services, plenty of deep bench with construction team of project managers, project administrators, superintendents, carpenters, and laborers, many with over 30 years of experience in the industry. So they will work on all kinds of projects from retail, office, education, religious, industrial, financial institutions, and restaurants. So go to p-cconstruction.com, and here is the lightning round. Well, Brad, Flora Cafe, a new Mexican brunch restaurant. Speaking of brunch restaurants, will soon open in downtown at 1009 Farnham Street, just south of Jean Leahy Mall. That space was previously occupied by Matsu Sushi. I had not been there, so that's probably why. Flora Cafe is under the same ownership as Sam's Leon Mexican Food, which is at 5014 South 20th Street, and it will. So the Flora Cafe will feature an outdoor patio and menu of authentic dishes. An opening date has not been announced. Do you frequent the Mexican restaurants in Omaha? They're hard to keep up with.
I would say there's a few, and not that I don't. I just kind of get into a habit of going to a few, and that's.
Yeah, it's amazing what you can do with like 4 or 5 ingredients.
Yeah.
The Chard is on a run. The Chard Burger and Bar has officially opened its West Omaha location at 181st and Chicago Street, which is known as Broadmoor Hills, in the former meatball space next to First Watch, just west of Village Point. The grand opening event is scheduled for April 12th, which is today. Chard has 2 existing locations and 1 in Lincoln. Freddy's, which is fabulous ice cream, will open in the Coventry development near 204th and Harrison Street, just south of ACX Cinema 12 Plus, my favorite movie theater. And adjacent, there's a Taco Bell that just opened, speaking of Mexican food. That's kind of where it starts, and it all goes up from there. The Wichita-based fast food chain operates 7 locations in the metro area. Wheatfields, getting another location. Wheatfields, tentatively set to open an express location at 189th and Evans Street, which is really West Maple Road, in northwest by the end of April. This second location will feature a drive-through lane, an extensive self-serve grab-and-go section. The store will offer quiche, soup, sandwiches, and bakery items. The existing Wheatfields is at 1 Pacific Place at 103rd and Pacific Street. One of my favorite restaurants is the Acadian Grill and Bar, which is down at 114th and Dodge on the east side, northeast side. Fabulous people, Jennifer and Dan O'Brien are the proprietors. They're opening up for breakfast, and if their breakfast is even anywhere near their lunch is. I'm really excited. I love their grits. Do you ever go there?
Oh yeah, we go there all the time. It's real close to the office, so it's a great lunch spot. But when I saw the post that they were starting breakfast, I got excited because I can't imagine what they have for breakfast, but I just know it's going to be good.
So they're closed Mondays, but Tuesdays through Friday from 7:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And then they're going to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And I'm so excited. If you like Cajun food, it's not all spicy stuff. It's just very flavorful. They're very consistent. And they recently were chosen as the third best seafood restaurant in Omaha with a ton of reviews. And the first two were like... didn't have many reviews. So these guys are consistent. So the music is playing, which means Brad's going to start singing for you.
You don't want that.
No, I want to thank Tom Millie from the Auction Mill. Go to theauctionmill.com. He's a good friend and a great sponsor. And I want to thank Brad Williams for filling in.
Hey, thanks for having me. I always enjoy it.
All right, you're going to listen to Trenton and Jeff next week, right here at 11:10. Thanks for listening. See you next week.
Well, you threaded that needle. Bill's over here having a heart attack.
Oh man, that was cool. That was
He
cool.
said Taco Bell. It all starts from there and goes up.
I know. I bit my lip on that one. That was funny.
I need some humor.
It's kind of a compliment.
If you like this video, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. And remember, Grow Omaha is not just media. This is a mission. We are trying to build up Omaha and make it an even better place. We can only do that with your help. Share this video with your friends, neighbors, and family.